I put a bad bitch up in her place. If she thinks she the shit, then I'm bursting her bubble. I am a dog off the leash. If I see a bone I want, I go and get it. Fuck a muzzle.
What's poppin'? It's the sexiest rapper that she knows, Kwaejo, and welcome back to another episode of Cheat Code, where I provide y'all with the cheat codes. Make sure y'all follow me on all my social media platforms at Kwaejo, at Body by Quay, and at Cheat Code Game, okay? Without no long talking, we're gonna get straight into today's episode, and today we're talking under the pillar of problem solving, reverse engineering, and the title of today's episode is Do the Things That They Won't to Live the Life That They Can't, okay? And, you know, I'm back in Canada right now, so that's where we are with it for the next 2 months or so, and I'm gonna be back in the States in Atlanta. And last time I spent a good amount of time in Atlanta last year, and that to say that was some character building moment for me. You know, the most crucial, essential parts of, you know, my character development, where I was going through it and I was discovering who I am, what I wanted to do as a career, how I was going to make finances, what my purpose was, and things of that nature. And it all really came together in the midst of chaos. You know, I was going through the pressure, but it was my time where I was turning into a diamond, okay? And, you know, right now, I am also a fitness coach, an online fitness coach. I do help women trim their waist and grow their glutes, grow the booty, and I do overall weight loss as well. So I talk to a lot of people on a day-to-day basis, and you know, people make a lot of excuses. Okay, people make a lot of excuses. Sometimes it's not excuses. Sometimes it's just the reality that they're living in. They can't see past that. They can't see what's on the other end of that. And you know, so many times I have emotional conversations with people, and you know, it touches the emotional chord for me too, because I see the situation that they're in, but I also see where they could go and where they could take it if they put in the effort, if they trust, you know, a person who's gonna lead them. They're a coach, such as I. That's who I am. That's who I am for these people and who I'm willing to be, right? So there was a period of a time where I didn't have the physique that I wanted to. I acquired it. I did not know how to get it. And I was getting frustrated because it's been a number of years that I was trying to acquire it. I literally was about to give up. I thought my body would never reach that potential. I thought, you know, this is the body that I have genetically, and I'm just going to have to accept this. And that was my body fat percentage just being at what it was. I just couldn't get more lean than that. I did have a friend who was specializing in nutrition. I did also have somebody who was putting me on some nutritional information. So I said, you know, before I quit and before I give up, let me try this one thing. Let me hit him up. Let me see what he does. Let me get some recommendations for him, right? I did that, and I got the recommendations, and I said, okay, cool, I'm gonna try this, because insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and trying to get the same results, right? And I'm not insane. I know that for a fact. So I said, all right, cool, I'm gonna try something new. Now, when I was trying that, I wanted to do it my way. I wasn't fully receptive to taking the nutrition plan or taking the procedure how it was given. I wanted to modify it so it could fit my comfortability, right? And a lot of times that's what people do. They try to take something that's going to change them, get them out of their old habits and turn them into a new person, but they want to modify it and they want to make it fit their comfortability, right? One thing that you got to know is you can't change and be somebody new if you're doing the same thing and in the same comfortability that you've always been, right? So I said last year when I was in Atlanta, like, that was a big change for me. I was going through a lot of things I've never gone through. I was in an environment I've never been, right? I was experiencing things that have never happened in my life. So in while I was going through those things and while those things were occurring, I understood, you know, mentally, okay, like, I have to be building here. Like, this is character development because I've never experienced these things. Obviously, life is an ongoing experience of new things and new encounters, right? But I'm like, there's a reason why these things are happening now, when I have a vision, when I have a plan, when I have a goal, when I have a burning desire, when I have belief, when I have faith to obtain the things that I want to that I want out of life. These things are occurring in this very moment. They could have happened to me while I was back home in Canada, while I was comfortable. But you know, I realized that would never happen, right? Because I was comfortable, because I was stagnant, because I knew how everything was operating, those things wouldn't come and try to knock me off of my game. But because I had stepped out of that comfort zone and I was trying to go into something new, like, this was hitting me, right? But what I also realized was it wasn't going to be about what was hitting me. It was going to be about, am I going to break? Am I going to fold? Am I going to crack under the pressure? or am I gonna keep going and turn myself into a diamond, right? And we're all works of art, right? Even when you're a diamond, you can still go through some pressure, right? Just because you're a diamond doesn't mean you can't go through any pressure, right? That's the difference between us and a diamond. Yeah, we want to go through the pressure to become a diamond, but when a diamond becomes a diamond is a diamond. But us as individuals, when we go through some pressure and we come out like a diamond, we've just entered a new phase. That's some character building that we've done, and we've entered a new phase of our life. But it never ends there, because we're always learning, we're always experiencing, and shit's not over till we're dead, right? So it was really about, is that gonna crack me? And I was going through that. I came out of that. I'm here back in Canada for some time now, and I'm having a lot of conversations with a lot of people. I'm onboarding a lot of people into my coaching program. I will be transforming a lot of lives and helping people be in the best shape of their life. Now, what this is about is that it's crazy, because when I have these conversations, I see the things that people are not willing to do for the desire that they have, right? They want a new body. They want to hit a new physical physique. They want to see a new number on the scale. They want more energy. They want more confidence, but they're not willing to take that step of faith and trust the process to get it, right? And I've seen that in a lot of people. I've studied a lot of greats over my time. I've studied a lot of greats. And the thing that makes those people common, the commonality that they have amongst them, is that they were all willing to do what nobody else was willing to do. They were all willing to act with not caring about what nobody thought about them, right? They had no fear. They were fearless, okay? Um, and that's the thing, that's the cheat code right there, right? If you apply a mentality of, and I've always kind of thought like that, I feel like that's a huge reason of where I am in my life, and it's going to be a testament to my success. I'm always willing to do the things that people will not do. Okay, there's numerous times, like, I stepped out. I went to Atlanta. I had like $2,000. I stayed there for the majority of the year, right? And my rent was like 900 and something a month, right? But I stepped out off on my own faith and my own will, and God's, of course. Don't let me take any credit from God, and don't let me rob him of his credit. And knowing my trust in God, I knew that I would be able to make it work. I would figure it out, because I'm naturally a hustler. So, losing is not an option for me. Failing is not an option for me. I'm back here. I'm alive. I'm looking good. I'm wearing a hoodie right now, but I'm swole under this. Everything's good, right? But when I was going through it, it was pressure. A lot of people wouldn't have... sorry. A lot of people wouldn't have been able to stay the whole course. A lot of people would have tapped out. A lot of people would have phoned home. I'm coming back home. I can't make it. But that wasn't my reality. Like I said, I'm a hustler. So I know that I'm going to make this last, and I'm going to make it work. Whatever situation I'm going to be in, I got to come out with a W, right? So what's the cheat code here? In any scenario that you're in any niche, in any situation, figure out what people are not willing to do. You know how they say it's less crowded at the top, more crowded at the bottom? Go to the top. What do you got to do to get to the top, right? Obviously, everybody wants to be at the top, but what's the difference between the people that get to the top and the people that don't get to the top? It's just what they're willing to do to get there, the work they're willing to put in, the hours they're willing to stay up. It's crazy to me having conversations with people and seeing people tear up and question life, and whether they belong on this earth, and say all of that stuff, and like be totally distraught in a conversation with me, and then them not being receptive of what it takes to get there, or them not willing to take a leap of faith, but they've been doing the same thing for years. That's insanity. That's what that is. Okay, that's insanity. If you're living your life and you're not happy with where you're at and what you're doing and where you want to be, I'm gonna tell you like this. Okay, we're talking about problem solving in this scenario, right? All of us are at, if you're not where you want to be in life, you're at point A. Okay, where you want to be in life is point B. Between point A and point B, there is a gap. And it is your job to figure out how to close the gap so that you can get from point A to point B, right? But instead, a lot of us and a lot of times we blame circumstances, we blame the environment, we blame our luck, we blame all these things, right? You know, just the way that's the way we are as humans. We look for fault, right? But a real hustler, a real entrepreneur, a real go-getter, a real person who's a winner and wants success is gonna say fuck all of that. Even if they started out with that, blaming other people, blaming other factors, okay, cool. But you gotta come to a realization that at a certain point, you gotta realize that it's all on you. The onus is on you. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's gonna be Superman. No one's gonna come and hand you over the life that you wanna live. You gotta figure out you're at point A. How do I get to point B? How do I close the gap, right? And then you shift your focus from blaming and thinking about a solution. That's why we reverse engineer, because we're going to go and do the things that people won't do so that we can live the life that they can't, right? You can't live the life that you want to live if you're not willing to do what everybody else won't do, okay? So in anything, I want you to think about this scenario. Like, I'm over at point A. I'm not happy here. That's all I was thinking about last year. I'm at point A and I'm not happy here. How the fuck do I get to point B? Right? That was what I was waking up with on my mind. That is what I was in the gym working out with on my mind. That's what I was in the shower getting right with on my mind. That's what I was going to sleep with on my mind. How do I get from point A to point B, close this gap in between so that I can do a smooth transition to the life that I want to live? Okay? And it's the same scenario for everybody. But everybody's not going to be able to come up with that solution. Everybody's not going to be able to reverse engineer and problem solve with that, okay? But it depends. How bad do you want it? Because when you want something bad, as bad as you want to breathe, you will be successful, right? I'm going to say that again. When you want something as bad as you want to breathe, you will be successful, right? I don't know if you guys heard the story about the guru who brought a young man out to the water because the man said, I want to learn how to fight. And he said, I'm going to teach you how to fight. And then the next day when he arranged for him to come and see him, he brought him out into the water, right? Into the lake, into the ocean. I can't remember what it was, right? He said, come. Right, he kept telling him to come. He kept telling him to come. Right, and when he was deep enough, he pushed his head down the water, and the guy was trying to come up. All he wanted to do was breathe. He was gasping for air, and the guru held his head down, and this guy's gasping for air. And prior to that, I even forgot a part. Prior to that, he's like, "What does this have to do with fighting? I said I want to fight, and you're going to teach me how to fight. Why are you telling me to come into the water?" He didn't understand the process. Sometimes you have to not question the process and trust the process, right? So fast forward. So this guru has this guy come out into the water. He's holding his head down. This guy's thinking like, what the fuck is going on? I told this guy I want to learn how to fight. He's here trying to drown me, right? And then he let him up, right? Right before you're about to pass out, he let him up, okay? This guy's gasping for air. And he asked him, when I was holding your head, when your head was down under the water, right? What did you want more than anything? What did you want to do? And he said, I wanted to breathe, right? And if he didn't want to breathe, he would have what? Passed out, right? So more than anything in the world, he wanted breath of air. And I feel like that's how we got to chase our goals. That's how we have to go after our goals. We have to go after our goals, our dreams, what we want out of life, like we're underwater and we can't breathe. We're about to pass out. That's the only way you're going to get it. So if you don't want those dreams, that way of life, as bad as you would want air when you're under the water, do you really want it? Or are you faking the funk? Are you telling yourself some shit? Right? Because your actions are always gonna tell what you really want. What you're willing to do is gonna be telling. Right? So if you say you want X, Y, Z, people talking to me every day telling me they want to change their body, they want to be happy, they want their confidence back, but they're not willing to get a coach, or they're letting finances block them. Even when I'm open to, sometimes, and it's not every time, but even when I'm open to renegotiate the deal or work out a payment plan for them, and then they go back to doing the same thing over again. And a couple of minutes ago you were crying your eyeballs out, but you're willing to come off the phone without doing anything different. So at the end of the day, guys, I just want to let you know, when you're in any situation, do the things that they won't to get the results and to live the life that they can, okay? That's how you get a step of A, buddy. That's how you reverse engineer. That's how you problem solve, all right? I hope this video provided y'all with some value, Okay, if you liked what you heard, or you could relate, or you have any comments, drop it in the comment section. Make sure to hit that like, make sure to hit that subscribe. We're a family here, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next episode. Alright, get up. I
put a bad bitch up in her place. If she thinks she the shit, then I'm bursting her bubble.